Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder. Good morning. Good morning. Well, it's good morning for me. I don't know when you're listening. But I wanted to take a second and do a podcast. I'm actually on vacation, but I felt like I didn't want to leave you guys hanging because during the event, I didn't get a lot of podcasts out. So here we go. I want to take a little bit of time and just spend on really one topic. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the economy and what we're looking at right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. When you have uncertainty, you have concern or fear. When you have fear, you have people who don't spend money. So a lot of people are pulling back right now. And I feel this in my own business. I feel it. I see it in other businesses. And I think the key here, because nobody really knows how bad it could get, but I feel like everything we're doing as a government is correcting the last 10, 15, 20 years of disaster of every president, frankly, not one side or the other, but just passing bills with massive spends on things that aren't in our best interest, but they build these things into it. These NGOs, which is a total one-sided thing, but they've been taken advantage of. It's a loophole. And I really feel like we will get to the bottom of these things, and it'll probably get worse before it gets better. For myself, I'm going this week to apply for lines of credit for my businesses, just to be on the safe side. We don't carry debt that's unnecessary, like credit cards or anything like that. We do have like automotive debt. And then I think I had mentioned to you guys that we took out the idle loan, which I feel like was a no-brainer back then. I mean, to take money at that low of a percent is huge. So anyway, long story short, brace yourself, be smart, make good decisions, run lean, cut everything that is not generating revenue for you. And then what I'm going to talk about as my main topic today will be sort of the same. It'll be related. And I never fully understood the term. I thought I understood the term work on your business, not in your business. But I feel like I, for the first time, fully understand it. In my journey right now, I'm going down the path of learning as much about AI as humanly possible. I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars to figure this stuff out. I would bet I'll probably be in $100,000+ between 2025
2026 easily on my investment in AI. The stuff we're working on is revolutionary. Some of the things that we want done aren't 100% available yet. So we're building everything around it. But here's one thing that I've learned that we move too slow for too long. I'll give you an example. One of your guys comes in and says, "Hey, my impact died." How quickly does he get a replacement impact? Now, this could play out a bunch of different ways. If he's an employee, he's not spending his own money on tools. So, does he have a Home Depot card where he can go buy one? Does he have a tool allowance? Those would be proactive ways of addressing those things that don't consume energy and office time. Does the owner have to drive all the way to Home Depot to get one? Do you have extras stocked on the shelf? Now, there's proactive and reactive ways of handling these things. And for me, I think every truck should have 2 or 3 impacts on it. I think it's the most critical tool that we have. Maybe other than winding bars or a sure winder, because if you're using winding bars, you're an idiot. Just kidding. But kind of. Use a sure winder. But we talk about speed of which we do our business. If we're not moving fast and we don't set an expectation of speed and efficiency, then it almost feels like it becomes this country club environment where the expectation is we just go slow. We moved away from hourly because of that mentality, and it was crushing us. And you say, well, you should have hired people who wouldn't have taken advantage of the clock. And you're right. We did have plenty of those. But the 3 or 4 that were milking the clock were killing us. And it's a little bit here and a little bit there, and it's really hard to like manage that and watch it. And then you're micromanaging people. But we've got to get away from this mentality of we're going to take our time and do this slow. I do agree that attention to detail is important and getting it right is important, but also efficiency is important and as important. It's not less important than getting it right. It's as important. As managers and business leaders in the garage door or the home services industry, depending on where you're at when you're listening to this, what you do, I think we need to figure out how we become more efficient. And it's never been more obvious because for us in 2023, I think it was, we dropped down from like 20 people to 9. Cut it in half. Less than half, really. And we've built back up. But guess what we figured out? Not ideal because 9 is too little for us, but 10, 11, 12, we could get the job done. And we were significantly more profitable. Now we've restructured as we've ramped up and we're hiring a lot more revenue drivers. But that's crazy that you could run with 9 people, grow, and be more profitable. So my question to you is, if your company did run efficiently and quickly, and you built proactive systems within your business, could you run at 75% of your staff or 60% of your staff? Or let me rephrase this. Could you grow significantly without having to hire more people? I think those are the questions that we have to ask ourselves as business owners is our staff efficient and individually? I'll give you a prime example. We do this thing where we go around the meeting room and we ask everyone's capacity. I have 3 people in one department. 2 of them gave me a 5, which tells me we're way, way overstaffed. Um, and one gave me an 8. So I called the one who gave me an 8 and said, "Hey, everyone in the department gave me a 5, but you gave me an 8. Can you help me understand why are you an 8 and they're a 5? Are we booking you more?" And his answer, quite frankly, was no. I've just taken on too many responsibilities at church and it feels like a lot. So this is common right now. I'm seeing this across the board. In a lot of places, people are really busy. They're overcommitting. They're taking second and third jobs and losing sight of their main thing. I've got that going on with someone else right now. And quite frankly, I feel like kind of dropping the ball a little bit. And if that's the case, why would you choose part time gigs over your main gig when you're in sales? When the more you invest into it, the more profitable you are because you're on performance pay. Like, I sit back and I see people make bad financial decisions, bad decisions in their life, and it's just on repeat. As an employer, I get pretty close to my employees, and there's times where I want to say stuff, but it's not my place a lot of times. I do say stuff sometimes, but probably only half the time or less do I say anything. But I literally see it happening right in front of my eyes. And I know they're going right back to the cycle that they were raised in or that they created themselves. And I can honestly tell you that that will continue to grow until they no longer work here because they need to find something that they think will make them more money or give them better opportunity. Hey guys, I found something that changed my business and I want to share it with you. We've created packages that have included some of the best products in our industry to offer our service customers. The heart of that package is Stealth Hardware Kit. Stealth Hardware is the quietest hinges on the market. I challenge you to buy at least one of these, test it for yourself. Put it on your truck and design a quiet performance package for your customers willing to pay for a better, smoother running door. Buy your Stealth Hardware Kit at Service Spring, do a search for Quiet Hinge, and then buy that. You can buy a double or single door, 7 or 8 foot tall, and promise you it'll change your service forever.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
It's crazy to me that as employers, we're not focused on working on the business and running as lean, as efficient as humanly possible. I mean, if you're scheduling 1 hour meetings right now, to me, I think that's crazy. Staff meetings, leadership meetings, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. If there's a critical topic that cannot wait, needs to be addressed, you can extend the meeting or you schedule a meeting to address that critical topic. But why are we booking hour-long meetings? I'll tell you why. Our calendars, when we go to book appointments on our calendar, a lot of times they're 30 minutes or an hour, and that's just what we do. But I'm going to tell you, that's not what you want. It's not what you want. You want 10 to 15-minute meetings. A lot can be discussed in 10 or 15 minutes if you're efficient and you have a system in place. And as a leader, those meetings can't be just a bunch of your team coming in and dumping problems in your lap. Solutions based. My marketing agency, we're getting into like micro actions. So our morning huddles, we discuss what we accomplished the day before and what we plan to accomplish today. And I really, really, really like that. It shows accountability, productivity. We celebrate our wins. Some people might call that micromanaging, but that's not at all micromanaging. The definition of micromanaging, let me just make sure I've got this right. Where managers feel the need to control aspects of their employees' work and decision making to an extreme degree. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. We are discussing what we already accomplished and what we plan to accomplish. That is accountability. And people thrive in accountability. People thrive in accountability. People thrive in structure and organization. People thrive in environments where there's constant communication. So when we say work on your business, these are the things that we're telling you that you should do. And quite frankly, I'm just figuring this out because I'll tell you for a long time, I thought it was a lot of different things. And I've been a leader in businesses for a very long time, since I was in my early 20s. And yes, I would focus on being proactive and doing some of these things, but I didn't click until just recently. This is my job. My job is to be 2 or 3 steps ahead, paving the road so that it's smooth when they drive on it. And then when we pull over, we discuss how the drive went and what we want to accomplish tomorrow. But if you can just picture me laying down a smooth path 5 days ahead of everybody. And I've got plans that show the path that the road's supposed to go on for a year, 2 year, 3 years. And I'm just following that path, making the road smooth. We get complacent as business leaders. I mean, I talked to a wonderful couple yesterday. They recently joined Garage Door U, and they fell victim to what so many of us have fallen to, a little bit of complacency. Sometimes we sometimes we don't know what to do. Sometimes fear grips us and we just stand still. Sometimes we don't have the tools, or maybe we have the tools and we know what to do, but no one's holding us accountable. Crazy. When are we going to start accepting the responsibility that we took as leaders? Talking to myself, talking to everybody listening. When are we going to take this really seriously? You know, I get frustrated because so many industries don't take the garage door industry seriously, but I don't think we take the garage door seriously, like the industry seriously. I mean, we don't even have a dealer association. IDA is not the dealer association. DASMA is not a dealer association. We do not have a dealer association. We don't even have it. Like every other industry that I know of has a dealer association. And I've mapped out the idea because I came up with it. For years, people have been asking me to do this. I'm like, no, I don't want to do an association. I don't want to do association. I don't want to do association. I still don't want to do it. But part of me is like, man, this is needed. And I don't know why I got off on this tangent. I'm gonna get back on my regular scheduled message here. But we're not taking ourselves seriously. We got to wake up as business owners and go in every day with an intention and a plan and execute at a high and efficient manner. It's amazing what we can squeeze into a 6 or 8 hour day if we're just focused and determined and efficient. I love you guys. And everyone who supports the podcast by listening to it does me huge favors. I love you guys. I love the industry. And I want it to be great for everybody. But when I have people tell me that they wouldn't spend $500 to invest in themselves or $1,000 to invest in themselves to be a better leader, that's baffling to me. What is going on? Why do garage door guys not have any pride on improvement? They feel like they've arrived sometimes. Not everybody, of course, but we just get complacent. Anyway, that's all I got. Look, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Learn AI, learn prompting. I'm going to be rolling out some really cool stuff over the next 12 to 24 months. Really cool, revolutionary. I'm trying to do stuff that's not cookie cutter that everybody else is trying to roll out right now. There's a lot of like done for you packages they can white label and roll out. That's not what we're doing. We have that, but that's not what we're doing. Um, really excited. And I want to challenge you this week to ask your staff what their capacity is. There's 3 numbers I want you to ask them. What's your capacity? 1 through 5 or 1 through 10 doesn't matter to me. 10 being maxed out. The example I give is like if I put something else on you, you're gonna fall apart. You can handle it. You'd be on the verge of quitting. 10 is completely maxed out. 8 is like kind of where we want you. We want you around 8, 8.5, maybe 9. 5 is underutilized. 1 is why are you here? Hopefully, no one's a 1. And then I want you to ask them rank your business life on a scale from 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, whichever scale you choose to use. 10 is like, couldn't get any better. I love it. 1 is, I'm looking for other jobs and I hate it. And then I want you to ask the same thing about their personal life. 10 being personal life's amazing, couldn't be any better. And a 1 is everything's fallen apart and feel like death. Now, you don't have to ask for them to expand on anything, but I would challenge you to track those numbers and see how they go up and down for each person. I have people who, during the slow season, it affects their personal and business life. Slower, so things slow down a little bit, they get frustrated. But when I tell them to look at their check stub, their year to date, they're always ahead. It's easy to put things in perspective, but sometimes our anxiousness or our anxiety or our frustration or something going on in our personal life affects our business life or vice versa. And it's important for us as leaders to know how we can help. How can we support them? How can I get you from a 6 to an 8? I don't even try to go for a 10 in business. If people are giving me 7 to 9, I feel like that's a huge, huge, huge win for us. But yes, I would like to know how we can get from a 7 to an 8 or an 8 to a 9. Find that out because it's a great conversation piece. It's a great way for you to show you care. And it's a great way for you to dig a little bit and get to the bottom of things. That's my nugget for the day. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you guys are going to the IDA conference, I will see you there. I'll be there one day. Take care.